Hey traders, welcome back to another market update. Today we're going to be taking a look at the currency market and seeing what's going on in terms of technical analysis. Euro USD today actually bouncing off of the lows very nicely and now retesting the area that we had previously talked about on some of the previous updates. You can take a look here and see that this previous level that was a major support actually broke through and is now being retested as a level of potential resistance. My opinion here on Euro USD is that it could get bearish and that we could see the trend continue to the downside overall. So we'll see what ends up happening there on Euro USD. GBP USD is our next one. You can see actually took a tumble here from where we were previously looking at it on the 4-hour chart. We did get a nice little rise, but now we're seeing price head back. And if you kind of zoom in a little bit here, we do have this trend line to watch. Right now you can see that we can see on the 4-hour chart, this little trend line here is currently being retested to see if buyers can hold it. But if it decides to break, we may be seeing prices make a move down to something like this previous low. That might be something that I'm looking for on GBP USD. Next up is USD JPY, and if you remember, we talked about this level a few times, right? We talked about the idea that if price came back to this previous high here, that we could actually find support in that area. So far, so good on this idea. You can see price is actually holding here on the daily chart. We're getting a blue or a green day, depending on what your candles look like. We're getting a green day here on the candle, which is showing some potential bullishness. And to me, it's possible that we start to see a rise back towards the north side on USD JPY. Again, just my opinion based on the fact that we do have this kind of uptrend and we pulled back to a major level of support here at the previous high. XAU USD actually seeing some pullback since we've last covered it on the updates here. You can see starting to pull back a little bit from the previous high. You can see we actually came in and formed a pretty clean doji looking candlestick pattern right here. You can see price came up and formed a high there and actually saw some continuation to the downside. Big question to me will be if we can get back to here, will buyers be able to hold? My personal opinion, I like the idea of looking for buys a little bit further down on the retest of this longer term trend line that we've got drawn from our previous update. Brent crude is back to the lows. You can see still selling off and holding this area right here. You can see it's going to be a big question here for oil if we can hold this level. If we can hold this level, then we might get some more bullishness. We might see more of a choppy market, right? But if we break through, then there's kind of a sad story there lined up for oil in my opinion, because I think we could be headed back down to the 50.29 level, right? So if we see something like this, I think it's possible we get that zone to zone movement down to the 50.3, 50.29 area. Same thing with WTI crude, seeing a lot of bearishness coming into this market right now. If we back up a little bit, you can see there it is, kind of testing this level right now. Looks like price is trying to break through. We've got a lot of bearish momentum right now, and so we'll see if that can play out. AUD USD breaking through the lows as we've talked about, which is something we've been watching for on the market updates for quite some time. We're seeing a lot of bearishness on this pair overall, and to me what's interesting is that, you know, if price continues to sell off, I would not be interested personally in shorting at this moment, but if something like a pullback to these zones came about, then I might be interested in actually seeing some sort of pullback play. New Zealand yen is our last one, which did break out of our range here, which is interesting. You can see this pair has been quite volatile lately. We're back down towards this area. I wanted to point out on the daily chart, one level that I have in mind here where I think we could get a bounce is just this general choppiness range, right? So we're still kind of testing this general area, and it's possible in my opinion that we could be just kind of seeing a fake move to the downside, but we'll see if that plays out. We still have a lot of bullish momentum overall, so we'll see how that plays out. Guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you guys next time.